Hi, my name is Lila Thompson. I'm a prospective student from Midland Park, New Jersey, and I'm interested in the 3+3 Health Science OTD program. So first from the video, I'd like to talk about what inspired me the most. And after watching Jaden's recovery, obviously from an outside perspective, what I found most intriguing and most inspiring was his determination and grit to get better every day. And in his therapy, he would show up with a good attitude, a good mindset, and not only in my opinion do I think that likely exponentially increased his success rate in therapy, but it also decreased his therapy time because he was able to move past the mental barrier of having to do something that's hard and tackle it just like he did in football. And for how I see myself helping him in his recovery, I like to pursue occupational therapy as a profession. So an occupational therapist, depending on the setting, of course, could help Jaden in recovering some of his limb function. So working every day to strengthen his muscles, like we saw the therapist do in the video, helping him to stand up so that those muscles in his legs can begin to strengthen themselves. I could also see myself on the mental health side of occupational therapy. Obviously, an injury this big not only cuts off a lot of your access to the world around you, but it has such detrimental mental effects because he went from being a star football player whose success and likely self-image was sprouted from how well he played and how well he performed physically. So for that to be taken away from him completely, it could definitely alter his perception of himself and his self-esteem. So as an occupational therapist, I could also help on the side of rebuilding that confidence that he has in himself. And also because of his injury, he might not be able to, with his paralysis, function and use a lot of the tools around him the way that he might have in the past. So as an OT, I might be able to go into his home even, or his school, wherever he might be, wherever his occupations are, and I would be able to adapt certain elements of his life to better suit him. So, for example, being a high school student, I might be able to take a walk through all of his classrooms and find the most ideal spot for him to sit each day in a wheelchair, or I might help adapt what he has going on at home. Like if he's not able to go into school because of his injury, I would be able to set up a workstation for him and even work with him at home on the functions that he needs every day to survive, especially when he's going to be older and living on his own after high school or even moving into college, where he needs to be able to feed himself. He needs to be able to clothe himself. So making adaptive technology to help him do those things, because he might have paralysis in his hands, and as he's regaining his gross motor function in his larger limbs, I might be able to make an adaptive handhold for holding a utensil because his hand might be stuck in a certain position while he's able to move the rest of his arm to feed himself. So overall, I could see myself as an occupational therapist helping him in a multitude of ways. And I think two of the most important traits in occupational therapy is one, empathy, and two, determination. Being an empathetic person in OT can really help you connect with your client on a more personal level. So growing up, I've always been an empath, and being able to put myself in someone's shoes has been one of the most rewarding parts of being the person I am. And in therapy, I'm able to relate to someone. And because of that, I'm able to feel what they're feeling and help them through any mental struggle that might be happening in their head. And two, I'm able to connect with them because they feel like I see them. And the second trait, I think, is determination. I think you can get to roadblocks in OT as the therapist. And I think pushing through and being encouraging through the whole thing is what helps you and your clients succeed. So thank you for listening.